Keeping you informed. This is In.form on WBDC and 18 WJTS.
Hello and welcome back once again to another edition of In.form here on 101 Country, WBDC and 18 WJTS. I'm Kaitlyn Neukam, and today it's time to celebrate with the Dubois County Museum. We have Kathy Bachman once again in the studio, and it is a new year, new things to celebrate about, and the Dubois County Museum has a lot to celebrate about.
That's right. It just seems funny that you would roll that year over. We were so busy with Christmas and everything, and now January comes, and really when January comes, we start thinking about our history and our membership and just how we came to be. And so I want to just present a little bit about the history of the Dubois County Museum today and share in that celebration that we're having on January 22nd, our membership dinner.
Right. Kathy, I think you'll agree with me. In order to, be excited and celebrate the future, you also have to honor the past, and that is all about what the museum has to offer for Dubois County.
I have some press releases here that I had published at different times, and it's funny because I can see from one press release to the next how many collection pieces we had collected, and I think we're now up to about 68,000.
Wow.
In different press releases, I have different numbers because collection items are still coming in for our collections group. And so that's great. People are still finding things that they think the museum ought to display. So in 1999, a group had gathered and said, oh, it'd be great if we had a county museum. And so one of the first things they did was they had like a little pop-up museum at the Trinity Church. And it was all about military. And due to a lot of people that had items, they displayed it at the church. And they said, why don't we do a museum? Let's get together and do a museum. So the people that gathered for that stuck with it, and they said, let's incorporate, let's do everything we need to do to create a museum. And so in 1999, then they were incorporated and they were ready to go. And then they came looking for a building. Is that the right English? They went looking for a building. And they went to the historic Grammersbacher Goodswaller building, which was at that time across from the library. And they said, this is a great place. And I can remember going as a teacher and a young mother out, take my daughter there, and just some of the really awesome things that they had collected. Right away when you walked in, they had the little lean-to. They had the most notions about the Indians and the spear points and the everything that's now in that display. And with any good thing, you outgrow your surroundings. So in 2004, they went looking for a building, and they toured several buildings, and they went to Kimball and said, yes, we think the Farmer Jasper Corporation building would be a great fit for us. And thanks to the Kimball, they gifted us that building, and with some seed money to get started. And so in 2004, they opened the museum at Strassenfest time. And I remember walking in there, and it just kind of stopped at one of the first displays because that's all they had time to move things and set them up. And they really had a lot more, but they just didn't know where all they want to put things. And a few years ago, someone said, Kathy, you ought to write up the history of the museum, one of our volunteers. And I said, yeah, I ought to, because I don't know when all this happened. And so I came up with this little brochure. I do have it at the museum. And In 2012 was when we opened Main Street, which is all the shops. And I can remember when they were working on that, and some of the workers there were following the lead of Tom Kellums and his wife Esther and Cheryl Sermesheim, and they were gathering things. Tom would be going to different meetings, like nonprofits, and saying, yeah, we want to start this. We're going to do this room. We're going to have a barbershop. And all of a sudden people said, hey, I have a switchboard that would work great in the hotel, and the Stewart Hotel. The Bealers then said, hey, we have the Stewart Hotel. Would you want that? And wow, they created those 17 shops in there. It's represent the late 1800s, early 1900s. And wow, the Dubois County Builders Association were so helpful in building the facades of the buildings, putting in the brick pavers, and it just really came to life. The children's area then with the Lewis and Clark boat, the dress-up area, the book nook, schoolhouse, it's all used today so much. I mean, we get young families in there, and I said, oh, where do you want to go first? Well, we want to go down to the play area. And we are always impressed that the young ones, even though you think they wouldn't like a museum, they come in and they want certain places they want to see. The town murals started in, let me go back a minute. Wave's Wonderland was added in 2022 in memory of Wava Bagelin, who was one of our longtime volunteers. And their family had donated to that, to create that. So thank you for that family, The town murals started in 2007 and were finished up in 2013. Ferdinand was the first one, and Zor, oh yeah, of course, if it starts with a Z, it's got to be the last one. Zor was the last one, thanks to our artists, Ellis Kemper, Tom Schum, and Kim Schrader. Then you think that our wildlife room has been there forever, but no, it started 2016, which is, 10 years already.
That is crazy.
You know, that is crazy. And we do have an addition coming. We're going to have a big surprise coming.
Ooh.
So be on the lookout for that. We don't know for sure when or where. So, we know where. It's going to go in there. But, be on the lookout for that. So that is the collection of Frank Fromey's animals, his major hunts, his trophy mounts. And then we invited the public to put in their sportsman pictures, and that added greatly to it. The birds also came from St. Mildred Arch Abbey High School, which is now closed, and the college, and it's donated to the collection. It was the college, not the seminary that we think of today. And thanks to the William Sang family for the bald eagle that was in the Jasper College building, and it was used as an art project at Jasper High School. And then it was purchased from the auction that was held at the Jasper Academy building, and they then gifted it to the museum. So we thank them for it. Our museum then started having the car shows in 2019, 7 years ago. The museum welcomed the Business Hall of Fame in 2019. And 2020, the Jasper Rotary Club put up their Athena display for their recipients. And in 2024, Wood Industry in Dubois County exhibit opened in April, which showcases all the wood industry. 2026, I think we have just a little bit of programming already in place, but it sounds so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
First thing off, the German club from Jasper here will host the Indiana German Society. Sorry, Patty Geffrich, I hope I'm getting this name right. But they're coming in on March 14th and 15th, and they're going to be having some meetings and tours, and stone carvers are coming in to showcase their work. Farm Bureau will have their annual breakfast, sausage or pancakes, March 28th. And come support the farmers in the area with the with Jasper Farm Bureau. And I'm sure the public is invited to that breakfast. We again will host our photo contest. And so think April 15th as the first day. Submit those contest entries. Think tax day. And so, okay, I got to get my pictures out. And we really do want the teenagers to come through and submit some pictures. Last year, we had a great year. We had 87 entries. And the year before, we had 100. But last year, we didn't have any teenagers. So we really want you to take some pictures. It can be anything. It could be your favorite thing. That's what we call it, your favorite thing. And we will have the public vote for it. And we do have 2 professional judges that come in. Last year, BC Baggett. And wouldn't you know, my mind just went blank. Okay, Mr. Okay, I'm coming back to you. I'll remember. I can see he had a shop over there behind Long John Silver's for a long time. McCarty.
Yes.
Bob McCarty. Oh, Bob, sorry. And so they come in and we have awards that came from the professionals and from the public. And then chess day. We don't want to forget people that want to play chess. So that's April 11th. The Jasper Philharmonic Club will host a 250th celebration at the museum with music and program on Flag Day, June 14th. I want to say Flag Day because people remember that more than they might remember June 14th. We do have our story time person, Carrie Holdsworth, who does such an awesome job for us. I got to come up with a better word than awesome. She does such a fine job.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, phenomenal. There you go. And this year, she will be reading each month different books by different children's authors. My daughter says I can't pronounce Arthur. Sounds like a name, sorry. But each month, there'll be a new author featured. I think next month it's Mo Williams, the Pigeon books. Someone one time told me, you think too much about numbers. But I love numbers.
We love numbers too.
I love seeing our growth. And sometimes we have to take a step back. And this year we have close to 9,000 visitors that came through our door. We had 9,000 visitors, which I said take a step back. I always want to have 10,000 because that's what the Indiana Historical Society said would be a great number for our size county museum. And we see so many people from out of state. We had 6% of that number come from out of state, 12% come outside of Dubois County. And our growing number is the walkers that like to come in when it's cold, rainy, hot, and they walk the perimeter of our museum. And our staff presented 54 programs this year, which included 10 guided tours and 11 story time programs. The exhibit team presented temporary displays on Yule pottery, mills, photography, county schools, and the tools used, and our Christmas Santa figurines, Hummels, children figurines, and they even put up a display case at Jasper High School on phones. And we had At the Movies, and that now is being moved out, and we're moving in more military. And our temporary space is moving to another spot in the museum. They are putting up a display on Americana that will feature things with our 250th birthday. And it's just amazing what people come to us and say, can we have a program on that? Can we have a program on this? And so we try to accommodate that and try to think of what's happening that would be a good fit for us. So We also recently had a piano player, Sarah Kryline, come in, and she said she'd like to have some recitals at our piano, our white Kimball grand piano that was used in the 84 Olympics. Was it that long ago? Wow. And so every year we get it tuned, and I said, oh, Sarah, that would be great because you need to play it. It needs to be played. So look for that. She's going to be holding her recitals there. So, gosh, all I can think of, things are coming up roses, but that's, I feel like, things are really on the move at the museum.
Most certainly. Time flies when you're doing good work here in the Dubois County community.
That's a good way to say it, yeah.
Again, you put it very, very eloquently. Again, the history and the years put in, the volunteer hours put in, just the efforts of again just trying to make all of this continue to work and flow, and to bring in that hopeful 10,000 a year. I know that's a really big benchmark for you guys, and people do come from far and wide to see one of the biggest museums in the state.
I need to really bring this up though. Our volunteers are such a great group of people. They are so responsible, and they're so dedicated. And they put in, here's my numbers again, 9,763 hours of volunteer work last year. And we couldn't do it without them. And it's just amazing. We have 143 people on our books that could volunteer at different times, and about 125 did record some hours last year. Some people just couldn't make it to put up trees that time, and they're responsible for the trees. We have some people that have said, oh, hey, I can help, and call me, so I'll come in and help. So we have a lot of people on our books, and they come back. Maybe one year they can't make it, the next year they'll come back and help.
Which, Kathy, that brings up a fantastic question. New year, new opportunities. If someone is looking to fill some of their time with volunteer work at the museum, how best can they kind of contact you to learn more?
They can call the museum at 812-634-7733. And if they call on Tuesday, they can talk to someone in collections if they're interested in working at a computer and accessioning things. We do need someone there to help with all the photographs that have been donated from different photography studios, like Bob McCarty's. I got the name now. And then we also could use someone in exhibits, and they meet on Mondays. That's spearheaded by Cheryl Summersheim and Rosie Stewart. And the lobby, I love these volunteers, and they are sticking with it. But one told me the other day, hey, I am going to be 90. And I went, oh, my gosh. And she goes, yeah, if you can find somebody to take my place, I would appreciate it. So we do need some volunteers that maybe want to come in just 3 hours on a Saturday once a month. And that would be great. And they can call the museum, and they will get you in touch with me because I take care of volunteers.
Very good. Again, a lot of things to kind of look forward to in the new year. Of course, we celebrate the history of the inception of the Dubois County Museum and what all you guys have been able to provide, again, for the community. And again, if you've not yet visited the museum, or you haven't gone in quite a few years, you need to make a plan to go visit, because, you're going to find something that you didn't even know was a thing. You're going to find something maybe even about your family or your lineage or your history that you didn't know before. So being able to just step into that and learn more is a very, very accommodating, amenity that we have here, which is just, it should not be taken for granted, for sure. Kathy, before we let you go, if anyone wants to visit the museum this year, how can we do so? And what about those memberships?
Okay, the memberships are so reasonable, $25 per person, $40 for a couple, $50 for a family, and we do have other levels if you would like to give, and we do have a donor wall this year. If you have given more than $1,000, it goes up by those increments. Let's see, what's your other question? Admission is $5 per person, $3 for high school, $2 for elementary and middle school, and if the child is 4 or under, they're free. And we're open on Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 10, Saturdays 10 to 4, and Sundays 1 to 4.
Very good. Again, plenty of time to be able to go in there. Again, we're in the early hours of the year. Of course, it's a little cool outside, so make sure you go in the nice, centralized, warm area of the museum and get your, as I like to say when I go out and about, get your eyeballs full. Learn something new.
Learn something new. I was just out there the other day, and I said, "Oh, welcome to the museum." And she goes, "Yeah, I'm in here," and I went, "Oh, okay. What's your name?" Anna Knabel. And I said, "Yes, you are, Rear Admiral Anna Knabel." And so I took her to the exhibit we have on her, and she was instrumental in the 9/11 and the medical health people that helped with that.
You never know who you're going to find in the museum or at the museum. That's right. Fantastic, Kathy. Well, as always, we appreciate you coming in to give us a little bit of a history lesson today and, of course, a rundown of what to expect in the new year. We wish you guys all the best, all the volunteers and staff at the Dubois County Museum for this 2026. And I think we'll be seeing you even more with all your events here coming up real soon.
That's right. We're always busy.
Always busy. Well, thank you so much again, and thank you so much for listening or watching this In.form here on 101 Country WBDC and 18 WJTS with the Dubois County Museum.
This has been In.form on WBDC and 18 WJTS. Catch past episodes on our social media pages and our websites. If it matters to you, it matters to us. In.form.